Royal Rumble is in the books, and now we are on that road to WrestleMania. Best time of the year, even better than Christmas. I'm sorry, this is the time of year where us wrestling fans can just get mad and never be happy and satisfied about anything. Because last year, everybody was eating and saying, Jey Uso, he's the man, push him to the moon, and now we're saying, the dude only knows 3 moves. yes, we are currently in the Uso Civil War, the Yeet Civil War, and what side of the fence are you on? But regardless, other things are happening, and WWE didn't just tell us that Charlotte Flair and Jey Uso are going to main event WrestleMania and pick their champion. No, they told us also 10 other things that the Royal Rumble taught us, and we're going to go over them right now. First off, WWE told us Penta was a big deal. They definitely have big plans for Penta, because the number 1, number 2 spot, a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times is reserved for just really special talent, and they gave it to Penta and Rey Mysterio, and that was a moment right there, a WrestleMania moment, seeing those two together. WWE loves to put their luchadors with Rey, but they did something different this time in that they have him by himself, and everybody automatically is going to be like, I want to see Rey and Penta. Forget that they fought in Lucha Underground for a second, and now we have this dream match opportunity. They're both faces, so they can't fight at WrestleMania, so give them the number 1, number 2 spot. So instantly WWE is showing that, hey, you know that luchador that we've been, pushing for about 20 years now? Penta's just as good as him. Not only that, Penta did do a botch. There was a botch where his feet touched the ground, and honestly, when stuff like that happens, the referees are supposed to call it and say, nope, you gotta go, and they change things on the fly. But Triple H didn't do that. He said, you know what, forget it, just keep going, and they never showed a replay. Therefore, his push is it's so ingrained in the future plans of WWE that even a botch, they're gonna cover up. So right there, that botch actually shows that Penta is supposed to be a big deal. He was actually the Iron Man of the Royal Rumble. I think he lasted about 43 minutes. So there's another thing for you. He's the Iron Man. They give that to usually someone they believe in, they trust. And then he even had a moment with Roman Reigns where Roman Reigns himself is actually helping Penta. He's like, come on, do your thing. And Penta does twice. He did that headstand on the turnbuckle with the help of Roman Reigns. If Roman Reigns is helping you, that says something. Penta had a very good showcase in the Royal Rumble, and this was just that's just telling us that Penta is a big deal. Also a big deal are championship belts, and look what I got here. I've got the $1 million belt, yes, and this is now in the rotation to be given away. I am going to give away a belt this week on Saturday on a live stream. More information to come on that, but I'm going to give away a belt this Saturday. Plus, when I hit 10,000 subscribers, I have the undisputed belt, but today I got myself the $1 million belt. Money. All right, so yeah, I'm going to give this away or any other belt live stream once I hit 10,000 subscribers. To win, all you got to do is comment below and also be a subscriber to the channel, hit the bell notification, and if you could give a thumbs up to the video, helps get the content out. Every 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away a belt. Not just the $1 million belt, but this is in the running. If you choose this belt, well, I'll mail it to you, free shipping, free everything. It's a really cool belt. If you don't know the history of the $1 million belt, it's so amazing, so awesome. $1 million man, he couldn't win a belt ever, so he tried to buy a belt. When he couldn't buy the belt, he just made his own. Oh man, $1 million man, you are amazing. Okay, so anyways, WWE also told us that the SmackDown tag teams are a big deal. SmackDown tag teams, not the men's, but at least the tag team belts on the SmackDown side of things. Well, this was the first time that they had been defended on a PLE since WrestleMania 40, and they were given a 2 out of 3 match. They got a stipulation, and then they even had a storyline. Each team has characters, they have personality. Yeah, the Machine Guns are, they're kind of more on the lame side with their personality, but there's personality there, and we got DIY definitely with personality. There was a story coming in here, and then at the end, when it was 1 and 1 fall piece, we have the Street Profits making a return. They beat up both sides, showing showing that they're on no side. Now we could have a potential of a three-way rivalry, harkening back to the Attitude Era of the Hardys, Edge and Christian, and Dudleys. Yeah, this was a stamp of approval saying we are taking the tag team division seriously on SmackDown. One that I didn't like was they told us that the Braun Jacob Fatu feud is not over. Jacob Fatu kind of had the monster role of the night. He got eliminated 4 people, but you know what? Roman actually also eliminated 4 people. So Jacob, I felt, could have been a bigger monster, a bigger deal in the Royal Rumble. But the thing that really, really sucked, Braun Strowman came back, no selling his beatdown on Saturday Night Main Event, and yeah, he just came out and he eliminated Jacob Fatu. I thought that was stupid, honestly, and it's whatever. It's whatever. It was a really good Rumble. That's not a perfect Rumble, and I felt that Braun should have not just been in there, and that Jacob should have eliminated him if that was the case, or something like that. I mean, Damian Priest or LA Knight says it seems like those guys are all feuding kind of, sort of, on SmackDown, but yeah, the Braun Strowman thing, it's just not over. He eliminated him, and I guess we'll see more of it. Hopefully, next match, Jacob gets the pin. This Royal Rumble told us to not listen to the dirt sheets. So, if you don't know, the dirt sheets were saying that Alexa Bliss and WWE could not come to terms on a revamped contract about like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and that Alexa Bliss was supposed to like debut on either the first or second episode of Raw, and they said it all fell apart, so they wrote her, they scrapped all creative for Alexa Bliss, and so everybody started reporting, oh, nope, I guess Alexa Bliss ain't gonna be at the Rumble. I didn't believe it though. You can go back to my prediction video, and I said Alexa Bliss will be at the Rumble. I even have her on my thumbnail. That's how confident I was. But a lot of people started saying, well, I guess, if the dirt sheets are saying this, and don't believe the dirt sheets anymore, because I think Papa H he leaks information out to see how far it gets, and I love that. I actually love that because I want to be surprised. I don't want to be spoiled at all, so when he leaks misinformation like that, it's great. It really is great, and I'll tell you what, it kind of like plays against me sometimes too, because I was thinking that, ooh, maybe The Rock is also going to be here. He said he wasn't going to be here. Dirt sheets say that, so the dirt sheets are getting them right sometimes and not sometimes, and it plays against us and it plays for us in that I was really surprised that Alexa Bliss, but it works against us because it allowed us to be surprised that Alexa Bliss was actually there, because the dirt sheets said she wasn't going to be. Now, if you don't know what the dirt sheets are, that's just like wrestling insiders leaking news and rumors and stuff like that, but don't worry about it. I try not to really focus on that stuff on this channel until it's like long said and done, or maybe I say it in passing. But yeah, for someone like me who's like knee deep in the wrestling community, I love the fact that Triple H just leaks misinformation. I think that's hilarious. I will say this about the dirt sheets: there's also a report coming out though that Drew McIntyre, he's really mad, and it seems to be targeted towards LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre feels that he was like, I don't know, that his moment of getting thrown out was diminished because LA Knight had to get all his moves in. And I would say this though, when it comes to Drew McIntyre, do believe the dirt sheets, because Drew McIntyre, I think he actually plays to the dirt sheets. Drew McIntyre is an A+ troll, right? He plays the Twitter and X and the internet like a puppet master. Drew McIntyre is amazing. Drew McIntyre is said to have walked out of the building, stormed out of the building. Well, guess what? He stormed out of the building in November War Games when CM Punk arrived. And guess who had the greatest feud of last year? Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. So if the dirt sheets are reporting that Drew McIntyre stormed out, well, that's a good thing. You know why? Because that means Drew McIntyre is gearing up for another solid banger of a feud. And if it's LA Knight, that could be pretty decent. It's what LA Knight needs. Definitely going to be good for LA Knight. I was hoping for a more prominent spot on the card, maybe a world title for Drew McIntyre. But yeah, let's just see how it all plays out. But right now, the Royal Rumble said that Drew McIntyre's a little upset at LA Knight. And I wonder if that's playing into something, and we're being played right now. And we're going to get Drew and LA Knight, at WrestleMania. WWE also told us that's true. streamers are important. They told us a lot of things are important. Streamers are very much important. If they had IShowSpeed come back, he was at WWE WrestleMania last year. He's the guy that Randy Orton kicked when he was in the Prime suit, and then what did he do? Did he like backdrop him, or did he RKO'd him on the announce table? And I really think Randy Orton was mad at him. He really seemed like a little more aggressive than usual on IShowSpeed last year. But anyways, IShowSpeed came back, and not just that, they're showing how important he is. They gave him a spot in the Rumble, and he took a full-on 20 to 30 mile an hour Braun Breaker spear. There are legit professional athletes who wouldn't want a Braun Breaker spear, and IShowSpeed took it like a champ. I think he died, though. I think he was broken in half. His carcass was thrown out the body. Otis catches him, and then he does a fall-away slam on him. It's like, holy cow, that dude's a trooper, and I love it. Because streamers, they're here. If you don't like streamers, I don't know what to tell you, but you gotta get over it, because this is just a whole untapped market of fan base that we don't have right now. Like, IShowSpeed, he streams to a crap ton of people that can become wrestling fans. And if he's a wrestling fan and he's treating the business with respect, I don't know why we wouldn't welcome him and other streamers in, because we have to replenish the stock. It can't just be a bunch of 40-year-olds saying, oh, who's better, Rock or Austin? What about Cena? Cena sucks. It can't just be us saying Rock or Austin. We gotta get some new people in. So if you don't want the streamers, if they annoy you and stuff, please just ignore it then, and let's welcome the new fan base. Let's not try to be gatekeepers. Let's just say welcome, and it's a win-win, because WWE, like, they probably would have had to pay like other celebrity a crap ton of money to get them involved in the Royal Rumble, but with streamers, all they have to do is just promise content. Hey, come to our venue, and you can just keep rolling. That content is invaluable to the streamer, but then the eyes that the streamer brings is invaluable to WWE. So it's a win-win right there. Now, do I want them in every Royal Rumble? No, but this was their first time here, so like let's kind of like make it a big deal. We were lucky that he said yes, and I think we should be very thankful for these streamers coming to WWE to bring new eyes to the product. And if ever I would love to find a fan who is introduced to wrestling through a streamer. So if that's you by chance, please comment below. I would love to know what your thoughts about wrestling are right now based upon how you were introduced to wrestling. The Royal Rumble also told us that John Cena is going to be the guy that faces Cody Rhodes. I'll put a caveat to this. It might be CM Punk, but I really think that they're going with John Cena. So John Cena, after the Royal Rumble in the press conference, literally said, hey guys, I usually answer questions, but not today. I'm just going to tell you how it is, and then you're gonna go and run off and give the headlines. And basically, I'm calling my shot. I'm gonna be main eventing WrestleMania, and that's best for business. I think I've been here long enough that I know what's best for business, and that's what's best for business. Not what's best for John. It's what's best for business, and I will be at that main event. And I think with Jey Uso winning, it wouldn't really make sense for him to go after Cody. Yeah, you could make it make sense, but it makes way more sense to him going after Gunther, because they already have a built-in storyline of Gunther is like a mountain that Jey Uso has never been able to conquer. So can he conquer it finally at WrestleMania? And so that leaves Cody Rhodes without anybody. John Cena, he literally said, I'm going to Elimination Chamber. I'm going to win that. I'm going to WrestleMania. I'm getting my 17th title reign. And yeah, I really think that they told us right here that John Cena, he's going. The reason why I say CM Punk is because CM Punk doesn't have a clear adversary for WrestleMania. And it's like, if John Cena is just trying to make us believe he's going to win, and, because that's what you're supposed to do. As a wrestler, you're supposed to always try to make us believe you're going to win. That said, if John Cena lost the Elimination Chamber, he could easily go up against Logan Paul, where CM Punk maybe could go up against Logan Paul, maybe could be entered into a triple threat with Seth and Roman. We'll get there in a second, but for the most part, it seems that CM Punk is not fighting Drew, which we've already seen a lot, and I would love to revisit one day, but not yet. it seems like CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes is definitely the way to go. They're great on the mic together, and it would allow CM Punk to finally get his WrestleMania main event, and it would even be night 2, so he could definitely cross that off his bucket list. The Royal Rumble told us that the roster's full. The roster is filled to the brim. Now it's more so with the men's than the women's, because the women's had still a couple like surprise entries, but the men's Royal Rumble had no surprise entries, except for maybe Joe Hendry, but you could argue that's more of a WWE trying to like catch lightning in a bottle with the Joe Hendry theme song. Plus, they just teamed up with TNA. So that aside, it was just like there was no NXT call-ups, there was no surprises. It was just filled, and they still left a bunch of people off the Royal Rumble. Like, I mean, Omos came back from Japan and he wasn't even in the Rumble. So it's like they still had a pool of people that they could have brought in to the Rumble, and they did not need to. And it was still just, filled to the brim. And I mean, even Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes weren't even in the Rumble. Now, the women's division, they called up about, I think 4 NXT people, but these 4 NXT people are just ready to be on the main roster, basically. I think maybe one of them is like going to stay in NXT, but you know what? The men's division is always larger than the women's division also. But who did the women really call for? I remember there were a couple Royal Rumbles where the women's Royal Rumble was like 50% almost just callbacks, people from the past. I think both divisions are doing really good based upon the rosters, the depth of the rosters that they brought to the Rumble. I mean, Randy Orton. I'm sure Randy Orton could have been put in that Rumble, and yet he wasn't. So, yeah, they told us with the people they had in their Rumbles that their roster, they're good. And the final thing that they told us was Roman Reigns' opponent is going to be Seth freaking Rollins. They're finally going to have their one-on-one where it's just them just going at it for all the 10 years of animosity that's built up since the moment Seth Rollins turned his back on the Shield. Last year even, Roman, you know that it's still bugging at Roman because he chose to hit Seth in the back with a chair instead of saving his title reign. A 1,316-day title reign he put on hold so he could get revenge for something that has been eating at his soul for 9 years at the time. So yeah, this is the time, and if you look, they were both eliminated from the Rumble because they were just fighting each other. They were just going at each other, right? They were so distracted with their hatred for one another that Punk was able to just toss them out. And now maybe Punk is inserted because Punk was really going after Seth Rollins a lot, and those three definitely were just kind of like feuding. And when Punk eliminated Roman and Seth, then Logan Paul eliminated Punk, and Roman was like, we just teamed together a month ago. How could you? So there is a chance that there's a 3-way with those guys, but the fact is, without a belt on the line, three-way matches are kind of lame. It's like, I don't know why you gotta have a 3-way match, So I really think that CM Punk isn't gonna be involved, and it's just gonna be Roman versus Seth Rollins, and everything is just gonna come out. All these years of just hatred and unspoken emotions and all these things, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be beautiful. No title on the line. Just former brother against former brother, because that's what they were. They were brothers in arms. And when Roman was betrayed by his brother Seth, he actually had to turn to his actual blood brothers, his bloodline, in order to never be betrayed like that again. So I do believe after I saw Seth Rollins do that double stomp to Roman Reigns, that was such a horrible double stomp. I've never seen a stomp that vicious. I thought maybe he murdered Roman, but after that double stomp, I am very confident that the Rumble told us that Roman Reigns' opponent is going to be none other than Seth freaking Rollins at WrestleMania. That's going to be a good match. That's going to be a banger right there. Definitely WrestleMania worthy. And maybe, and if we're lucky, maybe we can put Jon Moxley, Dean Ambrose in a cage, a shark cage above the ring. But okay, so let me know, did you like this video? Tell me what you learned from the Royal Rumble down below. And guys, girls, have yourselves a great night.